Farm2Table Direct Show out here at the Southeast Expo Center, Oklahoma Homestead Rendezvous, right here in McAlester, Oklahoma. And we're back with an interview. We're going to stand here and talk with me for just a minute. My friend Brian Jackson, the I Believe guy, holder of, if I'm correct, 12 Guinness World Records. I'll let Brian explain just a little bit about those records because it's quite a fascinating feat that he got a record for, something I wouldn't have thought of. It was even something you could have a record for, but it's awesome. It's cool. And then we're going to talk a little bit about what you see in front of us with the display and some of the things that Brian does to help bring some awareness and fundraise stuff, some things he does working with kids and things of that nature. So, Brian, glad to see you out here at the Expo, and tell us a little bit about I Believe and all these records behind us back here.
Well, this all started back 1999. I had a goal. I wanted to break a world record. It started with the balloons that you make animals out of.
Okay.
And if you've ever tried to blow those up, I got to where I could blow up 9 at the same time, 250 in 21 minutes.
Wow.
And I saw a guy on TV that blew up a hot water bottle for a world record. And I thought 2 + 2 = 4. If I could blow up 9 of these balloons, maybe I could break that world record. So I started my journey to try to break this Guinness World Record for a hot water bottle. That journey would take me 7 years, 49 record attempts.
Wow.
Before I finally broke that world record. A lot of people laughed at me. A lot of people made fun of me, said I was never going to do it. And I finally broke the world record in 2006 in 51.98 seconds. And that opened up a journey for me all over the world. I've been on America's Got Talent. I was invited on Stan Lee's Superhumans, the creator of Spider-Man, X-Men, Marvel Comics. And he asked me, he said, Brian, is there anything you've never done that you'd like to try to do? So I said, I want to see if I could lift a car.
Oh, wow.
So we put an airbag under a car, and I lifted. The first car I lifted was on Stan Lee's Superhumans that weighed 2,500 pounds. I got to do it in China, Spain, Italy, all over the world. I finished my career on Ripley's Believe It or Not, where I lifted just shy of a semi-trailer that weighed 5,486 pounds with just my lung strength.
My goodness.
So I know there's a lot of women out there that says, my husband's full of hot air. I really am full of hot air.
But listen, it turned into something, like you said, that took you on an amazing journey.
Oh, yeah.
And, got to travel the world, meet people. But, you came back home. You came back here to Oklahoma. And you've took that and you're doing stuff with it and you're going around and sharing. So tell us a little bit about I Believe and kind of some of the ministry that you do with that and reaching out to kids and stuff of that nature.
So obviously I don't have the size or the strength. A lot of people say you're too small, you're too short. How can you do this? I believe God gives me all my ability.
Amen.
I believe I have to do my part on it, but I know that I don't have the size or the strength. So I rely on God to just let me be the vessel. And that has opened up where I speak in the schools and talk about, I give part of my testimony where I was in the largest drug bust in my hometown of Seminole, Oklahoma. And I got saved in jail, got a second chance. And I started making balloon animals in the church. And I had people say, where do you think that's going to take you in life? And it took me all over the world. And so I get to share with school kids, colleges, conferences, conventions. I've spoken at events all over the world. And I'm also Native American. So a lot of the stuff that you see on my booth is from my Native American part where I sew leather pouches. And these pins are all made out of broken arrows. We don't throw anything away. So I make ink pins out of them. And it's just been, I feel very blessed, very fortunate to be able to do things that I love to do, that God has given me opportunities. And it's taken me on a journey all over the world.
Well, that's quite amazing. And folks, listen, not only, Brian's got a great story and he gives back so much to the community, to the youth, and I know he goes around and speaks at places and does things like this where we come out to events. And listen, you can come out and support that. Like you said, there's leather pouches. I'm seeing necklaces. I see some earrings over there hiding out, and all this stuff made in the Native American style and reusing and repurposing, which is a big part of homesteading and what it represents anyway, is recycle and repurpose. But Brian, it's an amazing story, and I love the fact that you've taken that, what would seem obscure to some people or maybe even crazy, and turned it into something where you're giving back so much.
Yeah, if you see my earrings, those are made out of deer antlers.
Oh, wow.
It's a very old tradition. They call me the I Believe guy, so I get to share with them that, God gives me all my ability. People that, I get to share because I'm not a big strong man. I'm not a power lifter. I'm nobody special. But I know that strength comes from God, and I don't doubt that. I don't question it, and I give him all the glory.
Right. Well, that's what the credit is. None of us do what we do without the Lord above.
Absolutely.
Giving us what it is. So, folks, if you're interested in learning more, you can go to www.ibelieveguide.com. There's also on Facebook. You can go out and check out video. You go out and check all that out. Learn more about Brian. And I know he does a lot of speaking engagements, and there's things with school activities, with archery, and a lot of things like that he does where he comes out and works with the kids. So you can check all that out there and get those resources on how to get a hold of Brian and their group and what they do. And hey, invite them out to your school. I know they're doing a lot of stuff with the archery and a lot of stuff with talking to the kids. And in this culture and today where we need to be able to give that back to our kids. And Brian, we just appreciate you doing that.
Absolutely.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming out to the Oklahoma Homestead Rendezvous.
I'm loving this. This is more than I imagined.
Oh, it is. It's a whole big old building full, and tomorrow's going to be crazy out here, I'm just sure. Well, folks, listen, it's not too late to come on out here to the rendezvous. Whether it's today or tomorrow, come on out, see the vendors, come by, check out Brian's booth, talk with him, and see all this kind of cool stuff he's got out here on his booth. And, hey, buy some stuff, more importantly.
Holidays coming up. You got to have gifts.
Got to have gifts. Yeah, that's right. Christmas will be here before we know it.
Yeah.
And so, hey, there's a good chance. Well, listen, everybody, it's Ryan with the Farm to Table Direct Show. And